It has been 1 year since I took the lever of Alma, my 2021 Sport Glide. So on today's video I will tell you how it was to own a Harley-Davidson for 1 year. Before we move on with the video, let me address something. So winter season is here in Scotland and it came in full force. We have had days after days with temperatures that stayed well below zero, and before that lots of rain and generally bad weather. And it doesn't seem it will get any better on the next few days, so that means, contrary to what I had planned, I really doubt I will be able to put out any content till the end of the month. But then comes January and February and March, where traditionally I don't put out many videos, as again the weather in Scotland is not the best one to ride a motorcycle for leisure, and majority of time the few rides I do are generally short and I don't really want to make a video out of them just to be able to say, yeah, I put a video out. That will not add any value to it. So this might be my last video until April. I might check in now and then, maybe with some drone videos if there is something special that I would like to show you, or even a riding video if it adds any value. I will also take this time to focus on something that I love, music. Finally, I scream to the universe like venomous capitulation and frailty. Said it out loud among the stars, set it in abjectifiers. Eternally, they keep eyeing me, chanting and singing songs of death. I want to write some more music for my solo project, Dream of Poe, so that hopefully by the end of the year I will be able to release a new album. So whilst it will be fairly quiet here on YouTube, I will still be working a lot behind closed doors. Anyway, let's go back to this video. So on the 13th of December 2021 I collected my 2021 Harley-Davidson Sport Glide, a used Sport Glide. It was registered by NWR Harley-Davidson dealer in May 2021 and was used for rentals and test rides. The bike was used on their fleet until September, at which point they put the bike away in storage for me to collect it in December. During those few months as a rental and test ride machine, it covered 3,700 miles. So the bike came with about 1 year and 6 months worth of warranty. So yeah, for me it made total sense to get this particular bike instead of buying a brand new one. It was still in great condition, still had warranty, and the best thing was I saved over 2k when compared to the cost of a brand new one in 2021. And it was also great that I decided to buy it at that time instead of waiting for the 2022 models. And now you ask why? Well, they increased the price another 1k or so, and they also removed the fake fuel cap, which is not a deal breaker or anything, but my OCD will drive me crazy. So as we are speaking about money, let me tell you about the ownership cost so far. Starting with insurance, it is very much dependent on each individual case. Where you live, where you keep the bike, how many years you have been riding with no accidents and so on. For me personally it was a bit more expensive than my old Kawasaki Vulcan S, but I wasn't expecting anything else due to the Sport Glide cost. But anyway, on my first year with Alma I paid only £484. Ouch! This is an expensive hobby, hey! and I just renewed my insurance for another year. I now paid £354, so it is slowly getting better. And by the way, those prices are for full coverage, so not too bad, I would say. Let's move on to something that is the same regardless of your personal circumstances. Road tax. It is £101 a year. The Sport Glide sits on the highest band, just like any other bikes over 600 cc's. Now, in terms of services, the first 1000 mile service was completed by the dealer, as I didn't own the bike at that time, but I did have to do the 5000 mile service, and that had a cost of £304. The price might vary depending on the dealer. The second year service, or 10k, will cost me just under £300. Alma has now 7,903 miles, and if we add the road tax with the yearly service and insurance and divide it by 12 months, it means that this year it had a running cost of £74 per month. Again, a bit pricey when you lay it like that, but with the years it will be getting cheaper as the insurance starts to go down. And what about fuel economy during this first year? All I can say is I'm very surprised by it. I thought that it being a big V-twin engine it would drink fuel like there was no tomorrow, but how wrong was I? The highest fuel consumption I ever had was 5.95 liters per 100 kilometers. Not that bad at all. Now, the lowest fuel consumption, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it, 4.02 per 100 kilometers. That is absolutely mental. And the average is sitting at 4.65 liters per 100 kilometers. Simply brilliant. Lots of people don't really care about it, but with everything in life getting more expensive by the day, it is good to know that at least our machine can be a very economical one. Moving to what really matters, how is it to ride a Sport Glide after spending 1 year with her? I absolutely love it. What a great bike she is. She might weigh 317 kilos more with the accessories I added to her, but under normal operations you don't really notice it. It is awesome taking her to the twisties as she doesn't shy away from it. She happily complies to every input you make. It's effortless. But if she was already very nimble on her stock form, let me tell you, she feels even more with the mini apes. But we'll talk about that later, alright? On long rides and even on multi-day trips, she behaves extremely well. We did the North Coast 500 trip with a huge heavy bag on the back, saddlebags packed like sardines, plus my girlfriend as a pillion, and she behaved incredibly well. Needless to say, I was very surprised by the handling and comfort on those trips. I had great fun with her, lots of big rides, lots of short rides too around town. She's shown the kind of versatility that I like and appreciate on a bike. She's ready for everything, she's ready for adventures, and she's ready to commute to work, filtering and all that so you don't arrive late. So yeah, 1 year later, it is still my opinion that she is a great bike and probably the best Harley-Davidson you can buy. I did some upgrades to her. The most noticeable one is the 11 inches handlebar, and let me tell you, it made the bike feel even lighter and easier to maneuver. But the most noticeable change when riding was my increased comfort. I now sit much more upright and on a more relaxed position. The low back pain that I used to complain about is gone, so that on itself is awesome. I'm still to get 100% used to it. Sometimes, not always, I have this strange feeling on my upper back, not a pain or discomfort, I guess that might be the result of my upper back muscles not being used to that position yet. So we'll see how it evolves in the future. Anyway, the majority of the other mods I've done to her were purely for aesthetic purposes, like the Willy G Derby cover, the new Empire grips, the Fat Boy bib there on the tank, the front and rear guards for extra peace of mind, and of course the same for the engine bars I have there. And now this will lead me to some of the things I don't like or that I'm not yet so sure about it. So I still don't like the fact that there is a gap between the rear fender and the seat. But well, that is sorted now. I did cover that gap recently, so the seat and the monoshock, the frame and all the electrics, they will be or will stay a bit more protected from water, road grime and salt. And on the same subject, the front fender, although it looks good, it does nothing to protect you and the bike. Anyway, the negatives hasn't changed since I did the video about the 7 things I hate about the Sport Glide. You can click here to watch it. One thing that sometimes I'm not so sure about it is the rear guards. I love the peace of mind it provides me, but it prevents me from riding the bike without saddlebags as it looks horrible with it. The Sport Glide with the bags and mini fairing removed is quite an attractive bike. It looks fantastic. I can't stop looking at it when I remove the bags to wash her, and it really makes me want to go ride her like that. But without the saddlebags in place, the rear guard sticks out like a sore thumb. So I don't know, maybe one day I will remove them, but first I'll have to get a place of my own where I can safely leave the saddlebags. Anyway, moving on to the future plans I have for Alma. Well, I really want to make her my own, to customize her to be one of a kind even. Again, that's not because there's something wrong with her at all. I just have a vision in mind that I would love to be able to fulfill it one day. It is nothing too drastic anyway. For the near future, I'll be painting the saddlebags. It will make the bike look much better. So that's 100% the plan for this winter. I'm also planning on getting floorboards for her before riding season starts again. So first thing will be a new 21-inch front wheel with some kind of fat spokes or similar. Of course, with that I'll have to change the rear one to match. I would also love to replace the front and rear mudguards or fender, depending on where in the world you are. The Bagger Nation ones looks awesome, so that would be the ones I would get to complement the new look. And a new seat, especially the Mustang one, would look great on that, so that would be something I will eventually get as well. That will be purely for aesthetics, but well, I'll not say no to extra comfort. And the final 2 things are an aftermarket exhaust. The Jekyll and Hyde sounds great, and it will not prevent me from riding on countries where police are tightening the restrictions around the noise levels. There are some horror stories around where people with Vance & Hines or similarly loud exhausts got their bikes apprehended. Anyway, the problem with the Jekyll and Hyde is just one: the price. Yeah, it is extremely expensive. Who knows one day. Finally, and although the majority of the things I mentioned don't have a specific order, this one will be for sure the very last one, and that would be a custom paint job. I would absolutely love to be able to have it custom painted. I don't know what color or general design. I guess it will become a bit more clear once I have done everything else. And you know, in general I will be taking my time with this plan, so there's plenty of time to think about colors and so on. Well, and I guess that's it. There is not much more I can say on this video other than I absolutely love my Sport Glide and she never lets me down. except that now I have a flat battery, but I mean that's subject to another day when we come back. But you know, the weather has been quite bad, very low temperature, so I was not surprised when I went to the bike and never started, but oh well. Anyway, we had lots of fun during this year, that's what matters. I cannot wait to take on lots of adventures in the upcoming year of 2023. Well, my friends, as this is my last video of 2022, I hope you enjoyed the content I put out this year. I hope it added some value and that you could take something from it. I can tell you that I'm very excited for the new adventures that 2023 will bring. I wish you all a great holiday season for you, your family and friends, and that 2023 brings you health, happiness and many rides. My friends, thank you very much for watching. Ride safe, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bom Natal e boas festas!